Welcome to A Troubled Shed, a podcast where two comedians try and heal the world by solving one of your troubles, one at a time. My name is Johnny Cochrane, but no, I'm not here alone. I'm joined by someone who has trouble as part of their middle name. It is none other than Twayna, Trouble Mayne. How you doing, Twayna? You all right?
I'm good, Johnny. Happy New Year. Happy 2026. I am fine. How are you?
Yeah. Real good. Feeling positive about the new year, Twayna?
I think so. One of my favourite plants is struggling for life, but apart from that, I think I'm gonna have a good year.
Yeah. Which plant is it that's struggling for life?
It's one over there. It's gone. I think it just needs a bit of plant food.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've been starving it, trying to teach it a lesson, have you?
Yeah, I'm like, come on. A minute on the lips, a lifetime on the hips.
You've not been
Stop.
listening,
Yeah.
have you? So you're
Right,
going
come
without
on.
plant food.
No, I don't know. It's a struggle to watch it like that, but I've just been given some advice by some friends, so it's going to be all right. Positive.
Well,
thinking.
every time we start one of these episodes, we go through one of our troubles, but I think we just launched into it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're hearing news that America are bombing Venezuela right now, but Twayna's plant is on the way out. So we have to put everything in proportion right now. Thoughts and prayers to that plant. We hope that it makes it out the basement.
And also thoughts and prayers to the Venezuelan people, Johnny.
Oh, I was being ironic there for sure. Yeah, I mean, warmongers. Let's get into it, shall we? Should we? Are you ready to start solving some troubles, Twayna?
Yes, 100%. Let's go.
Here we go. My girlfriend embarrassed me in front of all our friends, confessing she fakes orgasms with me. I'm 25 and she is 23. It started because I made plans with mutual friends that didn't include her. She got the hump and I tried to calm her down, but it all blew up. Next thing, she started teasing me that she faked her orgasms with me. It was in front of all of our friends and hugely embarrassing. We've since made up and she has apologised, but now I feel so insecure. Worse still, our friends won't let it go. It's becoming a running joke. My girlfriend has made me feel like I'm not good enough for her. Twayna, where are we going with this?
Oh my gosh. It's funny, isn't it? It's what it is. Well, I'm trying to think sensible. You can just tell her that you also fake your orgasms with her. Do you know what I mean? Why should she get the upper hand? Just tell her that actually all that noise I'm making and all that, blustering and all of that, it's fake. You do not turn me on one iota, my love, and then see how she feels about it. Just, do you know what I mean? Don't feel embarrassed about it. Either work on it in secret with somebody else and yourself. No shame there. But also just tell her the same thing. Don't embarrass her in front of her mates, in front of her mum. Just do it.
All right, in front of her mum. That was one in there at the end.
Go one step further. Do you know what I mean? Just, she's made you feel like a mug. Mug her off back.
No, fair enough. So just as a running tally of what Twayna suggested, fake your orgasms, potentially have an affair with someone else and have a wank. And there you go. Thanks for coming. You are welcome. No, I agree with you actually, Twayna. I was thinking this. Not enough men fake orgasms. Certainly when they're being shamed by ladies saying, "Oh, I was faking my orgasm." You should come out. Yes, so do I. When I'm like, that wasn't real.
None of it's real.
No, that wasn't real. Faked it. Because I mean, there is usually some evidence to suggest you haven't. But the fact is men should do that a little bit more, or really get about and say, "I wasn't thinking about you. I was thinking about someone else." Do you know what I mean? And that's where you might include. You said it. Say her mum. Thinking about your mum. Then it would really shake. Then it would really shake things up. She wouldn't be happy with that. Or because what she's actually done is sown the seed of doubt. Like you can't trust her. So start saying that you're faking other things as well. Like next time you go to the theatre, and everyone's clapping at the end, you're there really going for it, and then come out and go, "I didn't even like that."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just leave her in a world where she just doesn't know what's up. Do you know what I mean? Or at a restaurant. "Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Yeah, try this." Yeah, it's lovely. Get home. Didn't like it. You don't know what's up now. And she's brought it on herself, hasn't she? Because go on.
So what are we saying? We're just saying to these two, just gaslight each other now until the end of the relationship. Just gaslight yourselves and each other.
Just make it where they live in a world where nothing's real anymore, like a kind of Black Mirror episode,
Like the
as part of their
Truman Show.
relationship.
Essentially, our relationship's been the Truman Show, and I faked it, and it's a TV show, and the whole world's been watching me fake an orgasm with you, my love. Yeah.
Until someone taps out for their own sanity. But
Yeah.
no, look, the reality is you're 25, she's 23. This is one of those classic young relationships which has a chance of working at that age, but most probably won't. It rarely goes all the way through. But if it starts with something like this, I've got to let you know, and I've got to let you know gently, mate. It's over. Because what it actually comes down to is a lack of respect. And her nuclear option, I mean, fucking hell, this is when you made plans with mutual friends. And she's like, yeah, and I faked orgasms. Oh, right, okay. You know what I mean? Goodness me. What happens if you pick the wrong restaurant one day? Yeah. And I hate your family. Oh, okay. You know.
I also slept with your dad.
Yeah, for good measure. So,
and he didn't fake his orgasms. Yeah.
It doesn't sound like she is a keeper. And to be honest, I think that when you damage trust like this in the early days, there's no way back. Are we in agreement on that one?
I agree.
Lock it off and tell her that you faked it before you do. Okay, that one trouble down, and we're cooking on gas. Here we go, Twayna.
I'm 15 and in love, but I have to walk on eggshells with my boyfriend. We've been together 6 months and he gets upset by little things and struggles to move on, catastrophizing small disagreements, thinking I hate him and saying he'll self-harm. The real issue for me is that I often feel like I have to tiptoe around him. I can't tell him about achievements or I can't tell him about my achievements or he'll get upset, and I often soften my opinions. I can't tell him he upset me without him getting extremely defensive. I do not want to lose him. He has the ability to be really thoughtful and loving. He cares for me if I'm upset, gives me advice, makes me feel confident in myself and happy. But I'm worried about the coming weeks as I'm going on holiday, and I know I'll have to constantly reassure him that I love him, and I'll feel guilty for just having a nice time. I feel so strongly in love and I don't want to break up with him. I'd really like some strategies to help him feel better, be less sensitive and avoid triggers without being exhausting. Over to you, Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, again, 15 and in love. It's all, you know, it all feels big when you're this age. And to a certain extent it is, because it's all formulative stuff. But I mean, we've all had one of these. They're a leech, aren't they? They're a drain. And you can't even tell people about your achievements. Do you know what I mean? When you've just got yourself a new award in your swimming club for being able to swim 50 meters, or you won the disco dancing champions, and he's over there going, oh, she's going to move on. Get a fucking grip on yourself, mate. It's a difficult time, isn't it? You're a teenage angst. He's probably sitting there listening to Linkin Park, you know what I mean? Like flicking his hair around, wondering why the world's so rough on him, because that's what happens at that age. And obviously, I'm sure they're not listening to Linkin Park anymore, but the equivalent. I've shown my age. And it really is it's a sad situation because people do go through it, but you shouldn't limit yourself. And the point is as you're at a young age, but as you get older, you realize that you want to find relationships and you want to circulate with people who uplift you. They enhance your life rather than try and limit you because of their own insecurities. So, yeah, you know, tell this guy to get a fucking life, sort himself out because he's holding you back. But yeah, you know, don't feel bad for being yourself and enjoying life because other people are not quite at that stage yet. They'll get there, but if you're there, don't limit yourself. Would you reckon, Twayna?
I'm in agreement. I also kind of think some of this behaviour is a bit troubling as also, you know, as well. Just there's something where it's kind of like, if you're going to go away for 2 weeks on holiday and you're worried that you're going to have to constantly reassure somebody that you love them, you're like, come on, like seriously. Some of this behaviour kind of needs to be nipped in the bud. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, because then there's people who I know as adults who are sort of in this situation. It's just like, don't be beholden to somebody threatening to kill them. All of that shit. Like, do not let somebody sort of drag you down, but also people need to be aware that that behavior is really unhealthy and unhelpful, and that maybe work on yourself in that situation of like, advise them like gently, go and see somebody and stop fucking threatening me with all sorts of shit just because I'm going to Tenerife with my mum for 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean? I'm a 15-year-old girl. I need a holiday. I need a break too. Come on. Yeah, he has the potential to be loving, but he also has the potential to be a little bit too that's like the elements, the early stages of like controlling behavior. Like
100%.
not on.
100%.
It's not
And this,
on.
I couldn't agree more. The bit that is the most troubling is this saying they'll self-harm. I remember when I was in school and there was some girl who used to, you know, them compasses that you draw circles with?
Yeah.
Used to scratch her arms and like scratch like people's names into her arm, like including the guy out of Hanson. Like,
Which one, the drummer?
Yeah, exactly. You're a grown woman now. Still got them scars, have you? Because of fucking umbop. How's your life? You're a mum. You know what I mean? So don't get too involved with people who are going to do stuff like that. And anyone who's suggesting that they might self-harm, I couldn't agree more with Twayna. Get involved and nip that stuff in the bud. And if they can't, then you need to get gone quickly. Because the idea with this kind of behavior is that these people often seek out people who will validate this kind of behavior and let them get away with it. So, you know, you have to realize that you are also giving off enabling signals, and you need to eradicate that from yourself, that you won't stand from this. Otherwise, guess what? You'll get rid of this boyfriend, Linkin Park boyfriend, and you'll end up with another Linkin Park boyfriend. So get rid, change behavior on all sorts. You should be able to enjoy yourself or have disagreements with someone who is balanced and secure enough to be able to move forward with that. But at the end of the day, you're 15. You'll probably end up shagging someone in Tenerife when you're on holiday with your mum.
Hopefully not, because it might be...
Of course, yeah. Oh, an underager as well. Yeah, let's not get ourselves in trouble, you know.
Move on, Johnny.
Moving on. Here's the next trouble. Even though I'm an adult woman, I like sucking on a baby's dummy. It feels so comforting and it doesn't hurt anyone else. So why do I feel ashamed? I'm 28 and have always had a strong oral fixation. I suck my thumb, bite my nails, chew pencils, and used to smoke, though I've given that up. I started this new habit when I saw a woman pushing a toddler in a buggy and the child was happily sucking on a dummy. Suddenly, I felt the urge to buy one for myself. Popping it in my mouth was so lovely, I felt blissed out. Since then, I bought several dummies and use them regularly. Nobody knows that I use dummies whenever I'm stressed. I even keep one under my pillow. I'd die of embarrassment if my friends found out. Is there something wrong with me? Should I stop? Twayna?
I don't think you should stop. She's self-soothing. It's like, why are you self-soothing? No, maybe it's. I wouldn't actually just want to like mock this, because I actually think there's no one's being harmed, even though I don't think I'm not 28. I'm a little bit older. I'm not interested in sucking a dummy. That wouldn't soothe me. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't soothe me. Gin and tonic, maybe. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not quite sure. It feels like a stage of development's been missed somewhere with this person, and also, but they're also seeking like to soothe themselves like a small child would. Do you know what I mean? Like you have a baby who sucks on a dummy, you wean them off of that kind of stuff, but actually if they get hold of a dummy when they're 4, they're like, oh, I still like this, but this is a little bit too old for like, ooh, I still like this. I'm not quite sure what's happened to fight for this person to find that quite like, ooh, I like this. I don't know, but she's not. I don't think you should stop. Might ruin your teeth a little bit. It might eventually just make your teeth stick out a bit, but you're not hurting anyone. So just, if it makes you feel good and you're not hurting anyone, carry on doing it.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of that. I might offer slightly the other perspective as well. As you said, it's not quite like a 4-year-old picking out and going, oh, I still like this. At 28, you are voting. You're a voting member of the public. You can drive, and amongst other things. And what I found interesting is you used to smoke and gave that up.
Yeah.
And now you're sucking dummies. Do you know what I mean? Is that what it is? Are you... when you in workplaces where everyone pops out for a quick fag? Are you going out? Oh, I'll come out. Not smoking anymore. Just whack the old dummy in. Oh yeah, that's good. That takes the edge off. People will be like, "What is going on?" But I do understand. I'm completely in agreement. Largely, my philosophy in life is, if you're doing something that you like and doesn't harm anyone, then everyone else should back the fuck off. The problem is, there are certain expectations that are there in society, and whether they're right or wrong, it may cause certain issues with relationships or whatever else. Because I know if I was on a date with someone and halfway through she just cracked out a dummy and just started going at it, I'd be like, okay, well, you seem happy, but I'm a little put off, and I might evaluate my options at that point. Maybe that's the limits of my mind, but I know I wouldn't be alone in that, because I'd need some explanation as to what the hell has just happened. Do you know what I mean? But maybe there is a way of doing it. Currently, she's doing it at home on her own, it seems like, so, no one finds out. But if you are going to do it and continue to do it, then you get something, you introduce it to people so it stops being weird. Don't let people find out by accident, is what I would say. I would just say, do you know what? I'm actually into dummies these days. Have you tried it? Don't worry about it. Like back in the days where good parenting didn't exist, and they used to dip dummies in whiskey to quiet babies. Yeah, maybe you could just be like, look, oh yeah, I'm getting drunk with the lads. If this woman does that, probably doesn't, and she's dipping her little dummy in some whiskey. Oh, this is a fun little thing, and didn't just keep it going. That might be the way to introduce it. It seems like banter, and by the end you're like, and now what? It just crept up on you. Now I use dummies, and now what? But largely, I think we are in somewhat an agreement in the fact of, if you like it and you're not hurting anyone, then everyone else can sort of butt out. But
she's also doing it when she's stressed. It's like, well, maybe go and speak to somebody about your stress, because that's like you're using it as a stress relief. Like, obviously, maybe you were smoking because you were stressed, and you're like, smoking's not good for me. I found an alternative. You're like, also, like, talking therapy works. Do you know what I mean? Try a bit of talking therapy, and you might actually nip this unusual stress relief for a 28-year-old, for a voting adult, for a driver, possibly, in the bud. Because it is, like, we've both come to, even though it doesn't seem to hurt anybody, it's rather unusual.
And, I mean, this might, it might both damage your teeth. Maybe there's another substitute you can use, like sucking lollipops or something of that equivalent. Like, I'm not, that's not going to be great for your teeth, but sucking a dummy at 28 probably isn't ideal as well. You're going to end up with an overbite. Looking like Ren and Stimpy by the end of this. So it's like, maybe you do just want to start getting involved in introduce some lollipops into your life, see how it goes. But overall, if you don't want to do that, you're happy with your dummies, then this pod, A Trouble Shared, we back you. We endorse it. Keep being you. And if you're not hurting anyone, you can crack on. Next, I think we've done that. 3 troubles down. Let's get on to the next one.
How can I tell my neighbour I don't like her cooking? I hope you can help me. I have a neighbour who has also been a friend for a year. We are both senior widows. We enjoy doing things together, and she has always been helpful, considerate, and fun to be around. The problem is that she loves to cook and frequently brings me food or invites herself over for dinner, where she brings most of the meal. Her cooking isn't very good. I've tried different excuses as to why I couldn't accept things. I want to stay friends with her and don't want to hurt her feelings. Should I just continue to accept her food, then let it go to waste, or be upfront with her? What do you reckon, Johnny?
I love this. I love this as a trouble, to be fair. It is a classic. Do you remember when you used to go over and play over at people's houses? I mean, I guess we kind of still do that as adults. It's just packaged up differently. But in school days, you used to go over to your mate's house, and people were like, yeah, and you can have dinner at mine. And then quickly you'd find out there was always at least one mum who used to be terrible at cooking. And by the end, at first you're like, oh, yeah, I'll have some dinner. And then by the end, it's like, do you want to come over for dinner? I'll come over, but mum has said I've got to be back. Yeah, got to be back. Because you don't want to offend the family. But I mean, How can you fuck up turkey jets? But you've done it somehow. I've been there before where you don't want to offend anyone. It's all in good spirits and goodwill, but you don't want to have to put yourself through that gastronomic disaster. I would, in problems like this, I would always err on the side of being proactive. So why don't you start saying that you've been inspired by her cooking skills to start taking more of a lead? If she comes over to you, no, it's fine. I really want to cover the whole meal, want to do all of it. And so that would at least halve the exposure to her food that you have to live with. But you are probably going to have to. I mean, at the end of the day, it sounds like you're in later life.
Mm.
You know, it's not that long that you're going to have to stomach it. Just take it on the chin. I wouldn't cause that much offence by saying her food stinks. You don't want to risk losing a really good mate. So I would just say, try and be proactive, cook more, and take ownership of that. But every now and then, just get your acting skills and be like, oh, yum, yum, yum. And also get a dog. Get a dog and then just throw that stuff on the floor. That dog will eat it up, probably. And if it doesn't, then that would be a wonderful way to break it to her. Even the fucking dog don't want it.
Yeah, what's going on? I like the idea of just getting a dog. Also, if she brings like a casserole dish and then you take it on the front step, just drop it. Just go, oh, I'm not as strong as I used to be. Just keep dropping the food. Just keep tipping it into, accidentally just tipping it into the bin. You're like, oh, I'll have to whip us up a pot noodle now. Never mind. Yeah, get involved. Start making your, don't be like, she keeps bringing food. You just stop her from bringing the food. Just look, I've prepared tea. Come over. I've done it all. Order a takeaway. Just, if you don't want to eat it, don't eat it. But don't let it come into the house. And then if she sort of invites you over for tea, just whip a sandwich out of your bag and go, look, I brought my own food. It's all right. I don't need to eat anything. I don't want to, do you know what I mean? I don't want to be a nuisance and make you sort of cook me slop. I've brought my own sort of ready meal. Yeah.
It kind of speaks to a larger point, though, doesn't it? Like sometimes people don't take social cues. So I would say a lot of the time, if she was cooking and there's food and you're just like, oh, I'm all right. I'm all right. Don't want that, actually. Thank you. Whatever. After about the third time of that happening, someone would probably say, oh, they don't like my cooking. If they want to avoid an awkward social situation, they might just take it on the chin, not do it anymore. If they're numb to it, they'd literally probably flag it up and go, I'm going to think you don't like my cooking soon.
Like,
and then you have a choice to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, what's up? Finally, you caught up with that, you know.
About that. Yeah.
Exactly. Your lasagna's shit. All right?
Come on, Judy. Sort it out.
But no, I agree. There's so many options there. Chuck them on the floor, as Twayna said, although you'd be spending a lot of money on replacement Tupperware and or baking trays, and or just get involved. The other thing is book her on a cooking course. Christmas rolls around. What can I get her? Book her on a cooking course, and then she's going to be like, oh, she knows I like food, but they might teach her about seasoning. You know what I mean? How to slice veg. These are things that might make your life easier. So I think we've nailed about 4 or 5 potential solutions to that trouble there.
And you don't lose your friend. Which is the most important thing.
That is overall the most important thing, isn't it? Yeah, you don't want to. Right, let's move on, shall we? Next trouble. Every time our doorbell rings, my neighbour is out on her front step recording our visitors. She's ridiculous. She's 71 and lives alone. We moved in a year ago and I was excited to have a new home with a garage, where I could run my dog grooming business. My neighbour says that we have too many visitors. I was drying a dog one day and his owner was waiting on the doorstep as I hadn't heard the bell. Our neighbour claimed that the man was staring at her while she was wearing her dressing gown. The fence between us, which is her responsibility, is 4 feet tall. So my husband suggested we'd take the hit for the cost of a 6-foot fence, but she just screamed at us. I'm now losing customers because she's making people feel really uncomfortable. I'm a woman of 52 and my husband is 57. Twayna, what do you reckon?
I like this one. I also like there's a side story of a dog grooming business. I just like, there's a problem with the neighbour, but also there's a dog grooming business and a dog that needs drying. She's a bit lonely, maybe. and she's just getting used to like a whole bunch of new people coming round, and she's probably lived there for a while and she's feeling a bit uncertain. Just go gently with her. Do you know what I mean? Just be nice. Go, don't scare her, but also tell her, look, we're baying for the fence. Stop being so nosy, and get some of your own friends. I'm sick of this shit.
I mean, the thing is they've gone a little bit gently, but she's actually affecting their trade, isn't she, at this point as well? And she is overreaching. And what we're really getting into is bad neighbours here.
Yeah.
Someone who is used to having things a certain way. And guess what? We've moved on. There's new people living here. It doesn't sound like they're doing anything too wild, apart from having, normal people come to the house as part of their trade. They can't really get rid of that. And, they're bundled in to speak to this woman's disposition. An idea that you've offered to front the cost of improving her fence for privacy, and she's just literally responded with "Ah!" like screamed at us. I mean, that sounds like a character at The Ring. So it doesn't sound like she's the most balanced out of it. There is one way that you might be able to resolve this. You operate a dog grooming business. Maybe you need to start grooming a few more XL bullies.
Yeah.
Start grooming some XL bullies and Rottweilers, Dobermans, like really nasty, vicious dogs. She ain't coming out. She don't want that smoke. She's happy to start throwing her weight around when the Chihuahuas are around there. Little Bichon Frise, and she's there like, all right, can you pee off? No. When the Rotties rolling up and down, she ain't coming out that house. So, maybe get into adding a niche to your dog grooming business of only grooming dogs that would survive in a dog pit. And then she ain't coming out. You won't even hear a peep out of her. So that's one way of going about it. And the idea that she's out there in a dressing gown, suggesting that people are perving on her, give it a rest, Beryl. Okay, no one's here for that.
You should be so lucky.
Exactly.
So that's how you just reply to that kind of accusation. You're like, in your wildest dreams. Yeah, as if. Come on. Just nip it in the bud. Tell her, like, leave us alone. Also, you're allowed to have people coming around to your house. You can't have to, like, and if you run a business, people are there probably just sort of in work hours, maybe a couple of hours in the evening, but it's just like, it's not going to be tons of people. It's not going to be hordes. It's not like Glastonbury. Do you know what I mean? It's just like one or two people a day. Do you know what I mean? It's like, calm down. People are allowed to receive visitors, and they're not really doing anything. They're just literally collected a dog that's got less hair on it than when they dropped it off in the morning. It's really not that much of a, do you know what I mean? It's not like they're bundling loads of cocaine in and out of the building. Or are they?
We don't know. Yeah, it sounds like a good front, to be quite honest. Yeah. Come round and get your dog sorted out and take a couple of kilos when you're on your way out. No, the only offshoot, as you kind of mentioned, it might be, and I still have limited patience for her, even in this situation, but it sounds like she's lonely, trying to instigate some social interactions. Oh, yeah, it's too busy round here. Beryl, you're not doing anything. What's going on in there? What's going on in that house that we're ruining? You know what I mean? We're just existing with life. We're, still young enough to be doing it. And you're trying to slow the pace down where this is like a remote village. Like, at the end of the day, you got every right to crack on doing what you're doing. And she'll have to like it or lump it. And as I say, if not, get some more vicious dogs around there and it will probably keep her in her house. That one's sorted, Twayna?
Sorted, yeah.
Right, last one. Here we go.
My boyfriend is out of work and his weed smoking habit has expanded within the void to become a lifestyle. He buys, sells and grows the stuff, meaning that he's meeting strangers on a daily basis, often in our home. My initial response was that he was struggling with his mental health, so I tried to be supportive. But it became clear that he is just doing it for fun. I think he enjoys the criminal element. He won't stop, and I have become depressed under the weight of the constant knowledge that he doesn't value me enough to stop doing this in our home. The only way out I can see is to leave, but that is a huge decision as we recently brought our first home together. It would also mean foregoing the chance to have a family with him. The criminal nature of his misdeeds, the criminal nature of his misdeeds means I can't consult with family or friends. Oh, this is a great one, Johnny. Over to you.
Well, I mean, first of all, you've mischaracterised it. He's out of work. Sounds like he's working to me. Not all the jobs will be legal. Okay, he has a way of earning money. Look, let's get serious. You know, it's not going to be the first person any of us have ever known who's sold a bit of weed.
Whoa, whoa! What are you talking about, Johnny?
Well, I know. I've nailed my colours to the mast. I've known people that sold weed over time, and what I would say is that you don't get a great pension plan with it, or health benefits or anything like that. You know, even an Oyster card. You probably got one. It's cost of doing business, but not many benefits. But ultimately, it's probably earning some kind of crust. Now, what is the serious part of this is he was not a weed dealer when you first got with him. So he has decided to change his vocation, and it's one that doesn't necessarily fit in, and you'd have every right to say, you know, it would mean the chance to forego a family with this man. This man does not sound like he's setting himself up to have a family.
Yeah.
It's probably, I can smell your house from here. It's Xboxes, green cannabis leaves on the walls, and, you know, may or may not involve your boyfriend growing dreadlocks. So the idea that this guy is priming himself for 2.4 children is probably not the case. And if you don't think that your life goals, your life directions are lining up, then that might be something that you have to make a decision on, irrespective of what your family think. I don't think you need to decide on whether your family are going to accept it or not. It's one whether you think you could accept it. But at that point, I think it's worth saying, before you get to that stage, tell your boyfriend, I'm about to leave. So it is me or the weed business. Why can't you just use the garage to set up a dog grooming business? You know, there's always opportunities. Think outside the box.
Did this new house that you bought with him come with a garage? Because there's a lot you can do here.
You're missing a trick. Yeah. And I'm sure if you do have a fussy neighbour, she'd be more happy with a dog grooming business than the weed business that is actually going on. What do you reckon, Twayna?
It's like what you said, Johnny. I kind of feel, you know, it's annoying that he's had a career change, and it's one that you don't 100% like. The career change, I like how you've tried to initially support this weed selling because you thought it was linked to his mental health. And you're like, okay, that's an interesting take. It's not one that it's not one that a judge is really going to be interested in when it comes to sentencing. But I like that you've gone, look, he was out of a job. He then brought in some more money into the house. It's not a 9-to-5 in the conventional sense, but his mental health was suffering. So I thought this was a mental health thing. But now you realise that actually he enjoys selling drugs, which can be a problem, especially if you bought a new house. And that's linked to the mortgage, probably the money that he brings in. But also, this man is not the father of the children that you want to have down the road at the moment. He needs to give this up and possibly get a legitimate job. And then you can maybe think maybe this was a blip, maybe this was a mental health crisis. But at the moment, it doesn't sound like it is. So it's like you have to make a decision. You don't need to tell your mum. Well, your mum would probably say leave him unless she wants, you know, a bag of weed. But do you know what I mean? It's essentially, it's not one it's going to win. It's not. Do you know what I mean? It's just like I want an eighth of weed and I want a grandson in 9 months. What can you do? You're not leaving him. You're not leaving him. Yeah. Look, sit him down. Have a serious heart to heart. Ask him what he wants and sort of say and tell him what you want, and then go from there. But I do think this is the beginning of the end. It's unfortunate. Unless he, you know, goes legal, goes legit. Do you know what I mean? That's all that is.
Well, I might just offer a counter quickly on that. Listen, without endorsing criminality, the reality is weed is legal in other countries.
Yeah.
And granted, it's not here, but that might not be the case forever. And the main aspect of this, which is troubling, is enjoying the criminality. Because one thing that would not be, you wouldn't be able to get on board with is if this started to slip into supplying other drugs and whatever else. If that's the thing, you should be getting rid anyway. But the idea that if this guy is just more of a lifestyle, I know people who have sold weed and they've either given it up or not necessarily sold weed anymore, but they've continued to engage with weed and they've had functional lives. So it is possible, but it really comes down to the idea that, if you're in love with this person and you're in love with who they're becoming still, then, ultimately, all it comes down to is how much patience you have for the situation. But if you're losing patience because, again, your life goals are not matching up, then really there's only one thing for it. Chuck his bong in the bin and get the hell out of there.
Open a window. Yeah. Open a window, bin the bong, throw the rizzles away. You're like, enough. Yeah.
No more hot boxes. I'm out of here. So that's it, Twayna. We've done our troubles, haven't we? Sorted it all out yet again. A whole bunch of people that I hope are thankful for the fact that we've sorted their lives out for them. That is the goal, as always, to heal the world one trouble at a time. We'll be back next Tuesday with more of your troubles getting solved. But until then, all that's left for me to do is say a trouble shared is a trouble halved. See you later. Bye-bye.